Hello, friends. I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. Really, really good. Today, I got to meet, meet one of my heroes. One of my, we've talked before about how I don't really have heroes. I don't really have, like, celebrity worship or anything like that. But there are people that I think very highly of, obviously. I think that's a thing, whatever. And and so I had a gentleman reach out to me last week or 2 weeks ago asking me if I could be on his podcast, if I'd be a guest. And I said, sure. And I had to think about how I heard of this podcast. I figured it out. But anyway, it's a podcast called the Make and Invent Podcast. And it's been going for years now. And they talk to makers, talk to inventors, talk to that kind of stuff. And one of their guests suggested that I be on the show. And so I got to be on the show today. And it was really fantastic. And the co host could not be there today for whatever reason. So Jeremy invited the guest who suggested me, and that person was Pocket 83, which was awesome. So I got to finally meet Pocket after years of having our little like internet bromance back and forth thing. We've never talked, and that was really fun. It was really fun to talk to him. It was really fun to talk to Jeremy. It was really fun to just talk about making in general and talking. They were both fascinated that I've been doing this for 8 years and 200. This will be 2,193 today. They were fascinated by that, and you know what? I get it. Like it's a very difficult thing to kind of juggle that I've been doing this for that long. That I've been doing daily episodes for 8.5 years. But it was really good to talk to both of them. They were fantastic, and we talked about the show. We talked about my personal life. Uh, so the reason I'm kind of laughing about this being the first time that I'm at Pocket was one of the things that we talked about at length because Jeremy was really interested by this. Pocket suggested me. He looked up my YouTube channel, and he noticed that I have a phone number listed, and he thought, I'll just call the phone number. That's like an easy way. He's like, it'll be a voicemail, whatever. The phone number's not a voicemail. It's a real phone number. It rings my phone. And I don't always answer. I'm usually busy. People like to call during the day. He called during a meeting, so I couldn't take the call. And then he emailed me after leaving the voicemail, and I immediately responded to him like, "Hey, sorry, I was busy. I couldn't I couldn't answer." And he was like, "Wait, that's an actual phone number?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's my phone number. Like, I've had that Google number. Technically it's a Google Voice number, but I've had it for over a decade now, and I've used it for the show." And he was just kind of baffled by that, and Pocket was as well. Like, I cannot believe you do that. And we talked about the reasons why I do it, and just the fact that anybody could call me or text me. Text is better, but whatever. You can call it. Who cares? I might not answer. I don't know. Some days I don't. If I'm busy, whatever. So that was fun. It was a really fun conversation. I will let you know as soon as it comes out. Because, I like being. I like talking to like minded people. And I felt very, very close in mindset and the way we approach the world in general with both of those. There's a good reason why Pocket and I have had this kind of internet bromance for all these years. I think we're very similar people. But one of the things we talked about was this book because Pocket asked me, "Do you always end every episode with a word?" And I said, "Well, I mean, yes and no. I've ended 1,199 episodes with the word." Because today will be the last. This is the last time we'll use this book. It's at the end. We've reached the final word. So that was fun. I didn't really think about that until he asked about it. For those of you that don't know, this became a tradition. At the beginning of the show, I was trying to figure out a way to end it, and I discovered that Google had this, like you could Google, tell me a random fact, and it would give you a little paragraph, a little couple sentences of a random fact, and I would just do that every day and read it. Uh, and then for a while there, that was broken. It didn't work. And so I was looking for a way to replace it. I was replacing it myself just by Googling, like, finding random fact lists. And then I was walking through a bookstore one day and I found this 1,200 words you should know to sound smart. And so for the last however many years that is, 1,200, well, I could tell you how many years, right? Is the date on here? I bought this in something. Oh, wow. Wait. No, that was the value offer. I cannot. The date is gone. Never mind. The special offer on this was good through 2/23/20. So I must have bought this in 2019 or early, like um, right before lockdown started. But I can't read the date anymore. So it's been 4-ish years, 4.5 years, 5 years, whatever 1,200 episodes is, that we've been using this, and it's time to bring it to a close. I thought about reading about the author. This says it was written by. I don't know if this is true. Robert Bly. The blurb at the back says Robert Bly is a professional writer and self-made millionaire. He's the author of 70 books, including several popular volumes on writing. He's lectured on all kinds of stuff. I don't know if any of that's true or not. It says in here he taught as a writing adjunct professor at NYU and is a freelance copywriter. So that's cool. It does say he's written more than 70 books. I would believe that most of this is true. It gives here's a pertinent. His phone number and fax number and mailing address and email address is in, and his all of his personal contact information is in the back of this book. I wonder if it's real. Should we call it? I'm not going to do it right now, but that's really interesting. He lives on Quackenbush Avenue. That's a fun word. I had friends in high school that were Quackenbushes. It was a brother and sister. They were twins. Anyway, I've had a fantastic day. I've talked to some really interesting people. I got my teeth clean. I have PT after work tonight. We'll talk about that in the future when I get another back update. Yeah. We're going to say goodbye to this book after today. And we'll introduce something new tomorrow. So, thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is zoomorphic. It's an adjective meaning having the form of an animal. The Rossington's formal garden is peppered with delightfully zoomorphic topiaries that seem to mix flora and fauna in equal measure. Zoomorphic. ZOOMORPHIC.